Welcome to Community Watch. Greg,
Doc,
how are you?
I'm here.
Yeah. Well, I've just been overwhelmed doing stuff for you, as usual.
Stuff for us.
Oh, right.
It benefits us or the students we work with.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just happy I'm on retainer.
Hey, what would we do without you?
Maybe you'd have a nice week off. Oh, you do have a week off. This is your break.
Yeah, spring break was last week, right?
Oh, it was months ago. I mean, it was like I don't even think we had one this year. It seems long.
I'm here on mine, so I don't have one either. So,
Well, it's time for the International Festival.
Is George Pullen here?
George Pullen is actually out of the country. He's having an international experience, I guess, to prepare himself for the International Festival.
I mean, I just think of him when you say International Festival. I think of George Pullen and Wiki. I can't think of the name. Wiki Japan, the whole, student exchange.
Well, it has grown significantly over the years, and so there are many other folks involved. We have a couple of those individuals with us today to talk about it.
Okay.
Patricia DeWitt is with us, and also Nugroho from Indonesia, who has...
say that well.
Well, that's because he's not out here to correct me. He'll do that in a minute. But he's involved in martial arts, and he's also on the Shorter International Society student organization. So
Okay.
we'll get a lot of information about the upcoming festival when our guests come out in a minute. So please stay with us. Much more to come.
Hello, little prince. Mother, what we gonna do today?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Community Watch, and we're talking today about the International Festival, which is coming up very soon. We're very happy to have with us Pat DeWitt from Shorter and Nugroho,
Yes, sir.
also from Shorter.
Yes.
And y'all have both been involved with the International Festival for some number of years, haven't you?
I have. I believe I may have been on the original.
And this upcoming event will be, what number is it?
I wish I knew.
Is it like it's been, I want to say at least the fifth.
No, I think it's the 6th.
At least that.
Yeah.
I believe so. That sounds about right.
It's been going on for a while.
Yeah. And we've been on almost every year.
Almost.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. One of us, at least.
One of us. So how is it, well, let's talk first about your first involvement with it and how you got involved initially.
At the time, I was working with international students at Shorter, and I just got wind of this group and thought it would be a really neat idea. The original idea was for different international groups in Rome to showcase their culture. And I know over the last 20 years we've had a tremendous growth in international presence in Rome, and this is a great thing. We've had Japanese industries, we've had Latino community building up, we've got lots of guests, we've got some Kurds who bring food every year. They're wonderful, their food's wonderful. The Koreans have wonderful food every year. And then there are people who grew up here but have an international background. They'd like to kind of acquaint us with their roots. And the Italian club is going to be present again this year. I don't know if that answers your question. I think originally there was a lot of debate about how the festival would take shape, but the people who organized it really wanted it to be community-based and based on the cultural group sharing what they had, sharing food for very, very low prices. In other words, you have a tiny little sample of food for $1 or even 50 cents. You don't have a big meal someplace, so you can go from table to table and sample. And it's sort of the same thing with the entertainment. It's a low to zero budget operation.
Well, I know, or I remember when the International Festival was first started. It was I got the impression that Dr. Pullen wasn't quite sure where, how it was going to develop. But
He kind of threw it open to the table, and those present voiced their opinion, and we kind of worked all the kinks out and came up with a kind of a vision.
But it was pretty well attended that very first year. I remember there being quite an impressive crowd. Nugroho. All right, so you are from
Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Yes.
And how long have you been in the Rome area?
This is my 3rd year.
And so you are involved in an international organization on campus.
Yes, I'm the president of Soro University International.
So how many different cultures are represented in that organization?
Oh, there are lots, and the last time I was looking at the data, there are about more than 45 international students at Soro. They represent countries from all over the world. We have people from Europe, Africa, America, of course, South America. We used to have one or two from Canada, and then from
You said at least 40, around about 45? Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I like about this festival? Because I don't know, outside of this festival, I don't know how much the community gets to interact with the international students from Berry or Shorter, or even Georgia Hollings for that sense. And this is one of the few times that I know that the community gets to interact. And so it's so valuable because it's really sad to have students come and, you really don't have a lot of venues for them to actually interact. And I'm quite sure they're doing it on some degree, but I'm saying I would love to see more, where more of the students had opportunities to interact with everybody throughout the community. Because we can learn so much from our international brothers and sisters just by learning some of the things they dealt with at home, where they see, or even their perspective on things. I think it would help us a lot. So this is one of those events that people need to come, because it's really an opportunity to learn more than just about food and music, which is great, but it also gives you a chance to actually meet some people and experience that culture, and plus put names to faces. And because too many times when we talk about international, we just say Islam or Muslim or Indonesia. We don't really have names, and so it can be very impersonal. So this is a good opportunity to make it personal.
Well, it makes me wonder, so many different countries, and I probably should know more about this since Shorter is part of the Rome community. But students who come from other nations to Shorter, is it for athletics or different programs, or what brings international students to Shorter?
Most of them are athletes, play sport at Soro, but the rest are just regular students like me. I'm not playing sport, so I'm just a student at Soro.
Although I understand you have some athletic gifts.
I do have some, I guess.
So you have actually performed at the...
This is going to be my 3rd performance. The first, it was 2009, then 2010, and this year. So.
And what capacity, what way do you perform?
We sang some traditional songs. We play like kind of flute, traditional music equipments, and we just do like martial art demonstration. Then my friend from Berry and I just kind of perform like just for a demonstration for martial art. We call it Pencak Silat.
And
did you get it? Can you pronounce it?
I wasn't going to try, but you can.
No, I'm saying you the English professor. I want to see.
I have to see it written down first.
You have to write it down. Then I have to hear you say it a couple of times, and I'm able to mimic it. Was martial arts something that you did before you came to Shorter? Is that something that you've done for many years?
Before I came here, I learned the Silat, Pencak Silat, and then when I got here, my friend and I got here, so we thought we got a chance, very good chance, and I think why not? Why didn't we just show people in Rome that there are Indonesian students in Rome, and I think we so far we did very well.
Well, excellent, excellent. This makes me think. We need to. This organization would do excellent. If we could introduce them to some of the students that we work with. Yeah. Don't you think they need that experience?
I think they need a lot of it.
Well, I know, but this would.
How long would it take them to learn Penchak Silat?
There would, though, a demonstration. Well, we've done some of that. With I can't think of the young man's name, the artist Jason, at our summer camp. So
That's
maybe
right.
we need to invite some of the shorter students here for a demonstration on our summer camp.
I think that would be excellent.
Yeah. See how ideas just kind
Well,
of.
That's great.
And Mr. Wood, I got a question though.
Yes, sir.
Since you've been involved from the beginning, have you seen the support for the festival grow? Has it grown to the point that you are very satisfied, or would you like to see even grow even more?
Well, I think that one positive indication is that George was okay with going to Spain for 2 weeks and just leaving it to all of us to keep doing our jobs that we've done for several years and just follow through the same way that we always have. And I think it's going to work. We do get a lot of support from the city. We get support from many of the schools. Darlington has a big international community as well, and they've always had, as a matter of fact, Betsy Awesome was very supportive in the early parts, and she would always be the one who would bring the flags if no one had flags, and she make sure that the students were there, not only the international students, but the language clubs. The French club, that's a good place to get a nice sample of food too, the French club table.
well, we've had some food adventures.
Yes.
At some of the.
And even though it's not expensive, with about 10, 15 kids, it gets expensive. Because you want them to try everything. And so you find yourself buying a lot of samples. But I think they really enjoyed a lot, so,
Oh, they did. And where else are they going to have that experience?
Outside, in Rome, Georgia.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Well, we're coming up on a break in just a few seconds here. When we come back, I want to talk some more about the stage entertainment this year and give you some particulars about the International Festival so that you can plan to attend. You really do need to go if you have not. So please stay with us. We will be right back after this. Welcome back to Community Watch. We're talking about the International Festival in Rome, which is coming up very soon. And our guests are Pat DeWitt, who is on the International Festival Committee and has been for several years, and Nugroho, a shorter college student from Indonesia who will be performing at the International Festival this year. So